4 soldiers have been injured in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar. This is a major encounter has broken out right ahead of the polls. Of course, this comes close on the heels of multiple other encounters. In fact, also a major arms haul in Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, a suspicious intruder, a terrorist, was also arrested in a joint operation by the Jammu and Kashmir Police and the CRPF. But the latest coming in from Kishtwar, 4 soldiers have been injured. This is the security situation, of course, remains a huge concern for the central government, given the fact that this comes right ahead of the assembly polls. Of course, the Election Commission has said that there have been more and more central security forces that have been deployed in Jammu and Kashmir as well, and that security is under control. But back-to-back encounters being reported. In fact, just this morning we had a major arms haul in Jammu and Kashmir as well, and a terrorist was arrested. Moving now to the other big headline, well, in the sensational case in which an IAF flying officer had levelled allegations of rape and sexual harassment against the wing commander, the High Court has now granted anticipatory bail to the accused wing commander. In fact, in its order, the High Court has made several startling observations, including the fact that a charge sheet cannot be filed without the approval from the High Court. In fact, the High Court has also said that a case and an arrest in this particular case would lead to maligning the wing commander, and it would damage or jeopardize the reputation and career of the wing commander. My colleague Nazir Masoodi has more on the bail order.
It is a very rare order in a sense that an anticipatory bail has been granted in case of rape charges against an officer who is accused of raping his subordinate wing, fly officer at Srinagar Air Force Base. This incident dates back to the, New Year celebrations on the 31st December and 1st January intervening night, when the officers were celebrating New Year at Srinagar Air Base, and then the 26-year-old flying officer, she alleged that she was sexually assaulted by a wing commander. She complained about that, but she said instead of giving her justice, there was a cover-up. She finally filed a complaint before the Jammu and Kashmir Police, and on 8th of this month, Jammu and Kashmir Police filed an FIR against wing commander under rape charges. But the accused officer moved to Jammu and Kashmir High Court, and Jammu and Kashmir's High Court single bench has ordered an anticipatory bail for the accused officer. But the order has said that the arrest of wing commander will jeopardize his reputation as well as service career. The court has also directed police not to file charge sheet in this case without the permission of the High Court. So it's not just an anticipatory bail for the accused officer, but also police have been barred from filing charge sheet without permission of High Court. However, the High Court has said that the investigation will continue, and the accused officer has to cooperate with the investigating officer. He has to submit himself for the investigation tomorrow until 16th of this month, and whenever he is required for the investigation. But it is a rarest of rare case where in such a heinous charge, anticipatory bail has been given, and the court has said that as the petitioner who is serving in the wing commander in the Air Force Station, Srinagar, and in case of his arrest, his reputation as well as service shall be jeopardized. It has also said that in the event of his arrest, he should be given bail.
And the big political headline, Arvind Kejriwal has walked out of Bihar jail. This after the Supreme Court granted bail to the Delhi Chief Minister in the liquor policy case. There you can see visuals of Arvind Kejriwal at his residence with his wife and his parents. Of course, the Supreme Court gave a very strongly worded order. In fact, one of the judges said that, well, the CBI is acting like a caged parrot and that it was a travesty of justice as far as the trial is concerned. But politically speaking, wide-ranging ramifications of this bail order. This comes right ahead of the Haryana polls. Haryana is a crucial state for the Aam Aadmi Party, and also the crucial assembly elections in the national capital early next year. As per sources, Arvind Kejriwal will focus on rebuilding the party's image. He will hit the ground running. He's expected to start campaigning in Haryana next week. He's also expected to kickstart his campaign with a visit to the Rajghat here in Delhi and also to the Hanuman Mandir. So Arvind Kejriwal hitting the ground running immediately after he's walked free. In fact, he gave an emotional speech after walking out. He said, "I will continue to fight the anti-national forces." Take a look.
Walking free out of Delhi's PR jail, the Chief Minister was welcomed with massive celebrations after 6 months in captivity without a trial.
इन लोगों को लगा कि केजरीवाल को जेल में डाल देंगे तो केजरीवाल के हौसले टूट जाएंगे। आज मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, मैं जेल से बाहर आया हूं, मेरे हौसले 100 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ गए हैं।
The Supreme Court today granted bail to the AAP leader, saying his prolonged stay amounts to unjust deprivation of liberty. Justice Ujjwal Buyan as well as Justice Surya Kant delivered separate verdicts, but both agreed that Arvind Kejriwal had to be set free since there seemed no likelihood of an immediate trial. The order said completion of trial unlikely in the near future, continued incarceration infringes on legal principles, no likelihood of evidence tampering by the appellant, citizen cannot be made to run from pillar to post, courts at all levels must ensure trial does not become punishment. The two differed mainly on the legality of the Chief Minister's arrest by the CBI. Justice Ujjwal Buyan said belated arrest of the appellant by the CBI is unjustified, failed to understand the hurry to arrest by CBI, the perception matters in a democracy governed by law, imperative that the CBI dispels notion of being a caged parrot. Justice Surya Kant differed, saying no illegality in the arrest of Kejriwal by CBI, no merit in the contention that CBI failed to comply with the Criminal Procedure Code mandate. The bail conditions for Arvind Kejriwal stipulate the Chief Minister cannot go to his office in the Secretariat, he cannot sign any files except those that have to be cleared by the Lieutenant Governor, and a bail bond of 10 lakh of rupees. Soon after the top court's verdict in the morning, there were celebrations and a sense of vindication at the AAP offices and at Kejriwal's house.
भाजपा के मंसूबों पे पानी फिर गया। वो लोग विपक्ष के नेताओं को जेल में डाल के सत्ता में बने रहना चाहते हैं, उनका मकसद ही ये है।
सच्चाई की जीत हुई है, हम बहुत खुश हैं। आने वाले समय में इससे और सच्चाई के लिए लड़ने वालों को ताकत मिलेगी। बात सिर्फ केजरीवाल जी की नहीं है, जो भी आदमी सच्चाई के लिए लड़ रहा है उसको ताकत मिलेगी।
The BJP has hit out, saying bail did not prove the Chief Minister's innocence.
एक बार फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज चाहे बेल दी हुई, लेकिन क्योंकि उन्होंने ये पाया है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी लिप्त हैं इस शराब घोटाले में, इसीलिए उनको ना तो सीएम के ऑफिस जाने के योग्य समझा गया है, ना किसी फाइल पे साइन करने के योग्य समझा गया है।
माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने कट्टर बेईमान पापी आपके कन्वीनर अरविंद केजरीवाल को फिर से आईना दिखाया है, और ये जो आदेश पारित हुआ है, भ्रष्टाचारी कट्टर बेईमान अरविंद केजरीवाल को कंडीशनल बेल मिली है। और ये कहना गलत नहीं होगा, जेल वाला सीएम अब बेल वाला सीएम हो गया है।
With the three main players of the alleged liquor scam, Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia and K. Kavita, now out, what does it mean for the probe?
Kejriwal's immediate priorities would be Haryana polls, a meeting with Delhi cabinet, and to reorganize the Delhi's councils of ministers to include former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodiya. Aam Aadmi Party is said to be taking legal opinion on whether or not Arvind Kejriwal can meet officials at home if he is not allowed to go to the Delhi Secretariat.
Kejriwal's immediate priorities now would be Haryana polls, a meeting of the Delhi cabinet, and the reorganization of the Delhi's Council of Ministers to include former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodiya.
There is nothing known as a half Chief Minister. There is nothing known as a quarter Chief Minister. He is the Chief Minister. No power except the elected government or a 356 can change that status. And therefore, to suggest that in a bail matter, a condition which inhibits him from functioning as Chief Minister would be a constitutional canard. He is entitled to deal with and sign all files. Only the files relating to this case do not.
With Kejriwal now being released, the focus now shifts to the politics. Not only will the AAP Supremo take on the BJP, the big question is the relationship between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. There are elections in Haryana and then of course in Delhi. Will the India alliance continue and how do they perceive of fighting together? With camera person Rakesh Male, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
So task cut out for the Aam Aadmi Party national convener, but the Aam Aadmi Party really milking it politically. There was a huge show of strength in the streets of the national capital, a big road show led by the Chief Minister from the Tihar jail to his residence. My colleague Aishwarya sent us this report.
Well, after 6 months being in jail, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had finally come out from Tihar prison after getting a regular bail from the Supreme Court in the alleged Delhi excise policy case. And now Arvind Kejriwal over here had come at his residence at 6 Civil Lines. There you can see Arvind Kejriwal now addressing the party workers who have come all around from the national capital. Senior leaders of Aam Aadmi Party, including Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, Sanjay Singh, Manish Sisodiya, Atishi, all welcomed Mr. Kejriwal. When he came outside the Tihar prison, he clearly stated that he will continue to fight against the anti-India forces. And now Arvind Kejriwal at his residence is addressing the karyakartas of the Aam Aadmi Party who had been waiting for his glimpse from the time that Supreme Court announced the judgment. Of course, there were war of words that had taken place between the Bharatiya Janata Party and Aam Aadmi Party, BJP, saying that he will be a CM who will be called a Chief Minister who is out on bail. But on the other side, it is Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party who had been stating that it is the Bharatiya Janata Party whose government had been pressurizing these central agencies, and these central agencies are working on the behest of the central government, and that's what something that the opposition parties had been claiming, that this is a political vendetta and a political witch hunt against the opposition leaders, and therefore the reason perhaps he was arrested and other India Alliance leaders had also got arrested in the past.
And looking at some other news from the national capital, well, the 4 co-owners of the Rao's IAS coaching who were arrested after 3 young UPSC aspirants died in the basement flooding, they've been given bail by the High Court. In fact, the High Court has set an unprecedented bail condition, saying that the co-owners must deposit 5 crore rupees with the Red Cross Society, which is a non-profit organization. The High Court says that this money would help the government in running these coaching centers with more security and safety. In fact, the High Court, in a strongly worded order, also said that what the owners did was absolutely unpardonable and it reflects their act of greed. In more news from Delhi, well, in the heart of the national capital, broad daylight shooting. In fact, an Afghan gym owner, a young gym owner, was killed in this daylight shooting. In fact, a Bishnoi gang member, Rohit Godara's aide, in fact, has now claimed responsibility for this attack. 6 people have been arrested, but the police say that the shooter is still on the run. And with that, we'll take a short break now, but news continues on the other side. Welcome back. The TMC has made big claims on the doctors' protest. Remember, the doctors continue to be up in arms over the horror at the RG Medical College and Hospital. And now the TMC has claimed that there's an alleged left plot to attack the protesting doctors. In fact, a TMC leader, in fact, Kunal Ghosh of the TMC, has released an audio clip that talks about this alleged plot to attack doctors. Now, remember, the visuals that you see on your screen are from August the 14th. These are file visuals and archive visuals that we are showing you. Remember, there was huge mob violence during the August 14th mob violence that took place at the RG Medical College and Hospital on the eve of the Independence Day. But of course, now the TMC has claimed that there's a left plot to attack doctors. Listen.
Conversation is between one from a left youth wing and one from a ultra left party organization. According to the conversation, there are a deep conspiracy against the government. They were talking about a plot. They will organize an attack on the dharna of doctors, and then we'll blame the ruling party and the state government that after yesterday's deadlock, ruling party is attacking the doctors. This is the main plot.
And let me go across to my colleague Saurabh Gupta joining us live on the phone line. So Saurabh, these are sensational claims that the TMC is making. So far, no reaction from the left, but the TMC seems to be suggesting that there is an alleged left plot to attack protesting doctors.
Well, yes, it's a very serious allegation, and it's come on the basis of an audio clip that Kunal Ghosh, the Trinamool spokesperson, has shared on his social media handle on the social media platform X. Now, he, of course, alleges that this is a conspiracy to make the government appear, unprepared, embarrassed, etc. As such an attack, will also help, the case of those, trying to attack the government. That's what Kunal Ghosh is saying. That's the crux of it. Now, in this case, of course, the police, we learn, have registered a case and made one arrest. This continues in the backdrop of, of what has been going on. You mentioned those visuals of August the 14th. There, of course, the police had admitted an assessment failure and said that the crowd that had come to attack the hospital on that day, where, by the way, also there was a protest site of the doctors which was attacked, had come in, small groups or ones and twos and had mixed with the Reclaim the Night protesters to avoid detection by the police. Now, this time around, of course, the police say they've registered a case and one person has been arrested in connection with what is being, flagged as a massive conspiracy by the Trinamool Congress to defame the West Bengal government.
All right, Saurabh, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. As Saurabh is reporting, sensational claims by the TMC that the left outfit is planning an attack on the protesting doctors. So far, no reaction from the left. Moving now to some tragic news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Well, right ahead of the Prime Minister's visit, a major encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar. In fact, tragically, 2 soldiers have died in the line of duty. In fact, several other soldiers have been injured as well. There was a brief gunfight is what we can report at this moment in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar, and 2 soldiers have died. Of course, these are soldiers leading from the front, and they've been killed in the line of action. Absolutely tragic there, and this comes after there was a major arms haul as well in parts of Jammu and Kashmir. And the timing of the encounter is also extremely important given the fact that this comes right ahead of the assembly polls. The assembly polls just a week away. Less than a week away, perhaps. The first phase will be held on the 18th of September. So extremely concerning there, and most tragic, the fact that 2 soldiers have died in this gun battle. Moving now to news from the national capital region. Well, key commute routes were completely waterlogged as it rained overnight here in the national capital. In fact, the Met Department has also predicted more rainfall across NCR and other parts of North India as well, including in Haryana, several parts of Uttar Pradesh as well. But look at those visuals coming in from Delhi. A key commute route completely blocked and the root cause remains the same. Desilting of drains has not been done, so it rains a little and it causes complete havoc there. You can see how people were having to wade through almost waist-deep water in parts of the national capital. In fact, a big word of caution for all our commuters there to keep in mind that travel time, and if you're heading out, please do keep in mind that margin. And in some other news now, business conglomerate the Adani Group has now featured on the Times World's Best Companies list. Now, this is an elite list, and the 8 of 11 Adani portfolio companies, in fact, were considered for evaluation. Now, remember, the Adani Group says that this, in a sense, is validation for the group pushing its boundaries and also being committed to growth, excellence and sustainability. This list, remember, had over 1 lakh participants, and the Adani Group really shining in that global elite list. And with that, we'll slip to a short break now. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.